Hello everyone, today is April 18th, 2012, and this is today's Daily Tech Recap, where we touch on the most popular tech stories of today. Let's jump right in here at the first story. This is a very interesting story, another Apple lawsuit. However, this one has an interesting twist in two aspects. The first aspect is that Apple was sued by just a regular, hard-working individual. Usually we hear about the lawsuits where Apple gets sued by these large companies like Samsung. However, this time it's just a small little dude. And the second aspect that makes this story different is that the small dude won, which is very nice. Usually in small claims appeals against Apple, Apple usually wins because they're big and they're smart and they have the best representatives, and they can usually get away with murder. But in this case, Apple lost. And the story is extremely interesting. I'll give you a very short summary of how the story goes. However, I highly recommend reading the article that the prosecutor actually wrote this. His name is Rex, and he has a blog, Seattle Rex, and he basically wrote this huge post about the lawsuit. And I know it looks long, and I hate reading long articles online, especially on my computer, because it makes my eyes hurt. And anyways, I highly recommend reading it anyways. I read the entire thing. It's very inspirational. It's a great story. But I'll just give you the rundown here. Someone had a defective, or Rex here, had a defective MacBook Pro in which the GPU malfunctioned, which left his MacBook Pro unable to boot. So he launched a court case against Apple because they have denied to cover the MacBook Pro and replace the MacBook Pro under a replacement program because I guess this was a widespread issue and there was a replacement program. However, they denied to cover the particular laptop under the replacement program, even though it was within the time frame. They denied to cover it without a reasonable explanation. Now, in the court case, Apple representatives defended their position by claiming that since the laptop was customized with an upgraded 2.6 gigahertz processor at the time of purchase, it is a completely different computer that is not covered by the replacement plan. So if you go on Apple's website to buy a laptop, you can choose different options, and I believe the default at the time was 2.5 gigahertz processor, but he paid extra to upgrade that to 2.6 gigahertz. And they use that to say that it cannot be covered under the replacement program. Now, the prosecutor here, he's smart. He knows his stuff. He knows his computers. And he immediately objected. He basically proved to the judge that the speed of the CPU does not change any of the chipset models, including the GPU. After he said this, the judge asked Apple if this was true. After some discussing, Apple replied, yes, it is true. The judge then asked Apple, well, why won't you cover the laptop under the replacement program if the laptop contains the same model GPU? Apple replied, we can replace it. And that was basically their surrendering statement. I don't know what I'm saying. I said surrendering. Surrendering statement. That was their surrendering statement. Basically, Apple said, yeah, we can replace it. So why, that everyone was thinking, why are we in court? Rex even stated somewhere in this article, the judge gave Rex a weird face, like, what the heck? Like, why are we even here then? So obviously Apple lost the suit, and they are required now to refund what the prosecutor paid for the computer, as well as court fees and among other fees. But again, I highly recommend to read the complete story. Link will be in the description. Next up, we have an article reported by iPhone Life magazine, and this is about the new iPad having a slight problem with the display. Many consumers are reporting that images that should appear white are actually appearing in a yellow tint. As you can see by this image, we have an iPad 2 over here, and then the new iPad on the right, and it's very discolored on the right. Now, as you can see, it's especially noticeable when it's compared to other devices, and if you have the issue, you can try to take it into an Apple store and get a replacement. All iPads are covered for 1 year under the full Apple Care policy. It's not a limited warranty at all. It's just that if they say, okay, yeah, that's a problem, they'll give you a replacement, no questions asked. But it doesn't seem like all of the iPads are affected, which is good. So if you get a replacement, there is a chance that you'll get one that doesn't have the tint screen, because there are many people reporting that they are not noticing the issue. Now, it's probably not long before Apple releases a capture on these iPads, which basically means that they will replace, without any question, all third generation iPads that exhibit this issue. They'll probably do that since this is seems to be a somewhat widespread issue. Again, not everyone is reporting that they're seeing this. That would be very bad if everyone was reporting it. Apple would have one big headache there. But it does seem to be somewhat widespread. Many people are reporting this. So maybe they'll release a capture in which then it'll make the process of getting a replacement much easier. Our next article comes from 9to5Mac, and this is speculation. Again, all speculation. This is not proven fact. But according to 9to5Mac sources, in order to assist customers in replacing defective devices like a new iPad that has a hue issue that we just talked about, Apple may soon offer backup and restores right at the Genius Bar of Apple retail stores. Again, the concept is still under works, but if it rolls out, it should make Genius Bar lines move much more quickly and efficiently. Now, a common problem, rather, when people bring their devices in to be replaced is that it's not backed up. So this may be because the consumer wasn't planning on getting a replacement, or they just didn't know how to do it, or they basically just didn't do it. So if this comes to Apple stores, stores will have wireless servers that employees can wirelessly back up devices and then restore to replacement devices. With that backup all over Wi-Fi. Now, these are local servers that are run off of Wi-Fi, so they're going to be much more efficient than iCloud backups because iCloud relies on internet and faraway servers. So local Wi-Fi servers will move much more quickly, and then after the content is restored, it will be erased from the server for security and storage reasons. So what do you guys think about Apple speeding up the Genius Bar? How often do you visit the Genius Bar, or have you ever even gone to the Genius Bar? I don't think I've ever been to the Genius Bar once, mostly because I like to go to... I bought my iPod from Best Buy, so whenever I have a problem with that, I just go to Best Buy because it's closer. But I do own other Apple products one of them I haven't bought from Best Buy. I've gone to Apple Store several times, but I've never gone to the Genius Bar. So I just usually browse around. I never bought anything directly from the Apple Store, retail store that is, though. So what do you guys think about this, and how will it help you? Leave a comment in the description and tell me. Our last article comes from Lifehacker, talking about an iPad application called Verde. What this does is it recommends ways to save money and use alternative forms of energy in order to go about saving money. So it asks you a series of questions about your current energy usage and what you spend on energy to come up with a practical solution of saving money. Now, this app is free until Earth Day, when it will go up to $4.99. So check out the article link in the description to go to the iTunes store and download the app, and also to read more about the application. And this concludes today's Daily Tech Recap. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to follow me on Google Plus and Twitter, as well as subscribing on YouTube to stay updated with everything that I do online. And watch tomorrow's Daily Tech Recap, as well as previous Daily Tech Recaps, so you stay informed of all of the greatest tech goodness that is posted out there by these wonderful blogs. And thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.